This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Okay, everybody, welcome back to the Lachtech Musar podcast. We continue with the Pele Yoeitz. We're starting a new Binyan, page 288 in the art scroll. We're on day 113 in the art scroll. Now we're going into the sugya, the Binyan of Binyan. We're going to talk about the trials associated with trying to earn parnasa, something very relevant, not just to me, but to everyone in the world. Everyone needs to make a parnasa. And we're going to talk about construction, as well as the importance of maintaining the sanctity of one's home. So, buckle up. We're going to be in this sugya for a few days. Something very relevant and tangible for all of us. Chazal saying, Aleph, anyone who engages in construction will become impoverished. Whoa, what does that mean? And for the reason, for when it comes to all other ventures, expenditures, a person can properly calculate the costs and take a look at his funding and determine if he has the money to spend without stretching his finances and making himself poor, he will spend it. And if he can't cover the costs, he'll look at another venture. Not so when one is involved in financing a building project. Why? For the nature of the construction business is that when he thinks he will need to spend $100, the cost will almost always escalate to $200. So this is something, if a person moves into a house or is looking to do construction, everyone says, oh, it's cheshbon double, it's befirisha Pele Yoeitz. And what's worse is once he began the project, he can't just pull out, he can't stop. He'll suffer huge losses in just having an unfinished project and have unusable houses and buildings, so he's got to finish. This is what makes one who places his hopes in construction for profit likely to end up becoming impoverished rather than wealthy. And again, this is important because maybe there's a construction company, someone watching this video. This is all in the times of the Pele Yoeitz, and it's coming from Chazals, and it's not really so. This in over here, there is truth perspective to it, but obviously, anyone in construction, in real estate, in any type of handiwork, well, there's a lot of people out there making money, and you should continue in having bracha and atzlacha. But this again was written 200 years ago, and maybe he didn't know what was going to happen 200 years later, that people are going to really be making a lot of money, Baruch Hashem, for this industry. So it's just important to factor that in, that not everything over here is definite and firm. It's ideas, and yeah. And he gives the limit justification. He says, if you are going to do it, then just do it smart. If you think you can need 100, okay, then make sure you have 200. And if you don't, then don't do it. Okay. And now we're going to go through, this is very interesting to learn all of this, because while it seems almost like not Torah-dik, we're going to get into now, if you should buy new construction over old construction. It's very interesting that everything we find is from the Torah. It's the Pele Yoeitz, it's from Chazals, it's from the Torah, it's from Kabbalah. So it's just very interesting that every step of the way we take, people say, what does the Torah say about it? The Torah doesn't say about this. It's not black and white. You go through the Sefer Musa, you go through the Sefer like Pele Yoeitz. It's incredible that he really covers just every last topic. As we'll see, it's fascinating. It would seem to me that it would be more beneficial for a person to purchase a house that is already built, meaning not new construction. Why? It's something that has a set cost for him to work with, and since he doesn't need to worry about increasing expenses, it will come out that he can buy it for a better price. It's unbelievable. He's bringing a zayar, and he's going to use that to shed light and to give perspective on this Inyan. But the Zohar says in Tazria that one should not purchase a house that was originally built by a goy to be his own house, and he should not even accept such a house for free. For a guy, an idol worshipper, when he builds his own house, he invokes the name of his idols upon it. And the Sitra Achra immediately takes up dwelling there and will never really leave. And living there can ultimately cause harm. This is the whole esoteric idea connected to Taras, that we know you have to break it down, it has to be demolished, it's stone, it's wood. Why? Because in order to fully eradicate it, it's got to be a binyan chadash, it has to be an entire new constructed binyan. And if not, there's this concept of ein tikkun ela b'shvira, that the only way to be misaken, the only way to rectify something is with shvira, with breaking it like a kli. Sometimes that was tamei, Thomas Mace. The only way you got to break it, and then you can restart. There's different shilas. What constitutes of breaking it? Can you just chip it away? Do you have to break the whole thing? But the side over here is that says the Pele it's based on the Zayar by Taras, that if there's a house from a guy, that it's you can't really knock out and sap out the ruach ra, the sitra achra of the avodah zaros, and therefore, even if he gives it for free, don't take it. Conversely, when a yid builds his home, he should do so in righteousness. Make sure that the money is obtained beheter. It's lawful. It's beheter. Unbelievable. When a yid, if you're building a house and you're watching this video, remember, go back, and when you begin, you place the foundation, you should have a prayer. You should say, and make it clear that you're doing so for the sake of Shemayim. And you should allow your supplications to pour forth to Hashem, that you should succeed in building a proper home. Very interesting. People want to know where's the makar for a Chanukas Habayis. I myself, I was looking for the makar, couldn't find it. I think I asked the Rav, and he said maybe it's a nice minog, but it's beferish a Pele Yoeitz. Pele Yoeitz says you should make a Chanukas Habayis b'limud Torah. So you make an inauguration for the house, but it should be with Torah study. It should be with a siyum. It should be something, say the Torah, not just a crazy all out Vilda party. It should be an establishment, an inauguration with Torah. And you should pour forth supplications to the Eibishter. If you want to know when you're starting something new, if it's a house, if it's anything else, and even when it's done, inaugurate it more, with more Torah, with more Kedusha, with more sanctity, with more L'Shem Shemayim. So I think we can stretch this idea to anything. It's not just a new house, it's anything. It's the side of any binyan, which I think is very important. We can draw from here. Whatever it is that you're starting a new zman, you're starting a new job, you're building a new house, you're starting a new community, a new shul, you're starting a new day. Take this side over here of building. How are you supposed to build it? Wherever it is that we're building foundations, we're building foundations every single second. First, implement, make it clear that all my maisim, all my doings, all my actions is L'Shem Shemayim. Daven, let it pour out, let it flow, that you're davening, you're doing L'Shem Shemayim. And then after the binyan nachamol, make a Chanukas Habayis b'limud Torah. Whatever it is that you're doing, you're starting a new shul, you're starting a new day. The beginning should start with Torah and supplications. The end should start with supplications and more Torah, because that's what gives it framework. That's what gives it structure. That's what gives it direction. That's what shapes anything, any venture, any move for success. When it's done with the Torah, when it's done with the Eibishter. The Oza Kedusha Shayasham. We all want Kedusha. We all want sanctity. We all want Kudsha B'richu in our midst. And if we do this, that is the key. That is the way that we can achieve having the sanctity reside and descend in our home, in our home, or whatever it is that we're doing. New day, new minute, new hour, new zman, new seder. Furthermore, whenever someone buys something new, whether it's a house or anything, just say, I'm doing L'Shem Shemayim. And the more he mentions the name of Hashem in connection with the house, the better it will be. And of course, we can stretch that to what we're saying, to whatever it is. Starting a new day, a new seder, a new venture, a new business, a new relationship. Anything new, there's a yisoid, and you fuse that. You soak it in Kedusha, in Tchinas, in prayer, and then you continue, you follow through with Torah And more thanks, the more you add to it, the more you add in Hashem, the more beginning Kadosh Baruch Hu, the more Hashem is going to be there, and then it's Yoeitz Toiv, then it's the best, then it's the greatest that it can be.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.